Hi everybody. What I'm doing today is I'm just going to go over the proposal outline with you. I'm just going to talk about the components and give you more insight into the instructions and what's required of you. So, one big warning, and you can see this on the module as well, is that in order to complete this assignment, you will need to begin to do preliminary research. So that means you can't just open up the document, type something in, and submit it. You have to have clicked around, done some Googling, followed some of the links that I've provided on the previous module, because the questions that are asked of you will require you to actually know something about your topic. So do, give yourself the appropriate amount of time to complete this because that is a part of this assignment. Another note is that you will be required to respond in complete sentences to each portion of the outline. So the first component is the easiest part, which is state the problem you're discussing. So this is just the topic of your essay. You're going to go onto the handout or the Canvas module where the list of topics are assigned, and you're going to choose one of those topics. And that's what you're just going to do here is you're just going to tell me what you're actually writing about. So maybe it's childhood obesity in San Antonio. The next section asks, why is it necessary to talk about the causes and consequences to this problem right here and now? So in other words, what's the urgency? What will happen if we do not address this issue? So this is really important because you're establishing why we need to talk about this issue right now. Remember that the idea is that you want your audience to care about this issue. So if it's something that could be solved in like 20 years, well, why do I need to put my time and energy to this issue right now? So this is another question that's going to take a little bit of thought and some research. So if I'm writing about type 2 diabetes, why do I have to, or why should my audience care about this issue right now? That's where, again, research comes into play. So you might say something like, well, San Antonio has, some of the highest rates of type 2 diabetes in the country. So we need to talk about it now before it gets even higher, right? But again, thinking about ways to make your reader actually care about this issue. The next element asks you to define your topic and or explain how or why the situation got to be the way it is. So what caused or exacerbated this issue? So just going on with type 2 diabetes, if I'm writing about that, I'm going not to just define what diabetes is, but I'm going to explain maybe what has led to the high rates of type 2 diabetes in San Antonio. And again, take some research. So one reason might be like maybe economic disparities or access to fresh food or food deserts, right? Or maybe genetic predispositions, right? It could be kind of a host of different issues, but I want to be able to explain in a well-rounded way why this situation is the way it is. This is the last section, and it is composed of 3 different questions that you're going to answer individually. These 3 questions all fall under the question of feasibility. So if you remember from the module, feasibility is essentially like doability. So is it doable? Is it realistic? That's what we mean by feasible. When anybody is making a proposal, feasibility is really important because if your proposal or your solution is not able to be implemented, then essentially there's no purpose to it. If it's just not doable in any sense of the word, nobody is going to be on board with your proposal because it's, like I said, it's not doable. These questions, just note, are not yes or no questions. You are actually required to think about each question and write a response. So the first one is cost. So are you suggesting something that has a cost, and is the proposal affordable? What is the cost? What do you imagine the cost might be? Um, the second is, will people get involved to do this? So if you have a solution, how is it going to be implemented, in other words? What are you going to need people to do? Are you talking about, getting people to vote, getting people to sign a petition, getting people to be involved in some ways? What is the role of the average citizen or the San Antonio citizen in this problem? And the last one is, what's the first step? So, um, what can be done right now to address this issue? And the reason why I ask this question is because for this essay, you might find that your solution, the solution that you're proposing, is actually more focused on a first step rather than a sort of elaborate long-term solution. Um, so if you identify a first step that sort of the common citizen of San Antonio or South Texas can take, that might be where you sort of where you focus your energy for this essay. But again, it's just getting you to kind of think about, okay, well, if there's a problem that you have identified and there's a solution that you think could be implemented, what can we do now, right? Trying to get you to kind of think about this. So those are the main components. I've also provided an example outline on our Canvas module that I will ask you to read so you can see what a strong outline for this essay looks like. And of course, if anybody has any questions, go ahead and send me an email. And that's it.